Hey guys, so just shooting a quick UTMB gear video for you today. So UTMB will be my first 100 miler here in the French Alps, starting in Chamonix and doing a full lap of Mont Blanc, 170 kilometers, 10,000 meters of vertical within the race. So it's a long way, lots of climbing in the French, Italian, and I guess the Swiss Alps for a little bit as well before you come back to Chamonix. So obviously you've got some big mountains here. You can have all arrays of weather conditions, from rain to snow to amazing sunshine and super hot temperatures. So it can be really cold or it can be really hot. So obviously you need to carry a lot of mandatory gear with you and be prepared for anything that the elements can throw at you. So I'm just going to talk about some of the main pieces of gear I'm going to be using for the race today. There's obviously spares, things maybe I won't be taking with me, might be changing into, which I'm not going to include. But I thought that you guys might want to know what I've been using and what I'm really enjoying. So starting with the shoes, I'll be using the Hoka Evo Mafati 2. I'm really enjoying this shoe, feeling very confident with it for 100 miles. I've been doing a lot of my long 6-hour, 5-hour training runs in this shoe, and it just feels great from start to finish. Obviously the Vibram Mega Grip on the bottom is a fantastic option for muddy, wet, rocky trails, and lots of cushioning in there, which is going to keep my feet and my body happy over the long 20 hours, which it could be 20 hours plus of the race. I am a Hoka One athlete, so it might be a little bit biased, but obviously I wouldn't be running the shoes if I didn't love them. So really recommend this shoe. Going on then, upwards from there, I'll be having my Naked waistband. This is definitely the best waistband out there on the market, in my opinion. Fits really well, lots of different sizing options. So with a race like UTMB, a long ultra race, I often find that, as you're eating more and more food throughout the race, drinking lots of fluids, you can find that your kind of stomach and your waist kind of expands that a little bit. So it's really good to have some good sizing options with Naked. And I actually size up for a race when I start in the night time. So usually I'm a size 4, going into a size 5 to start the race, just so I've got that extra space to kind of grow into it. But even then, it still doesn't bounce. And I'll be having lots of nutrition in here. My poles on the back. So yeah, lots of pole straps on the back to keep it all in one place. And it's just a really useful piece of gear that I use day in, day out. Starting at 6 p.m. in the night time, it's a night race. So having a good head torch is going to be essential. So I'm actually using the Petzl Now Plus for this race. Got reactive lighting on this, which is a great saver for the battery. So it actually means that it has a bit of a sensor at the top here. So when you turn a head torch on, it will adapt to the light surroundings that it's sensing from there, and it'll get brighter or dimmer depending on that. So that's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to having that all through the night. Usually I've just had a kind of fixed headlamp with the fixed brightness, and I find that it kind of hurts my eyes, gets a bit strange after a long time. I'm sure it's going to be difficult running through any night race, but this feels like it's going to be a lot more comfortable for the time duration. And then just for my backup, I've got a small Petzl E-light here, bright enough to see me through to the next aid station if needs be. Then moving to my nutrition, Unived is my nutrition sponsor. I'm really enjoying the new Elite line that they have here. So this is Camille Herron's vanilla sea salt flavor, really tasty flavor. But yeah, I'll be having a gel at least every hour. These are all 190 calories each. Typically in a faster race, I'll have 2 of these gels an hour. But what I'm aiming to do for UTMB is have a gel an hour and then some real food as well at the same time. So whether that's some rice balls, maybe some wraps with some peanut butter, some banana, and also having some just fruit sachet pouches, which are just blending up fruits, just to make sure I'm keeping my stomach happy and having that kind of long burning energy throughout the race, keeping those calories trickling in over the 100 mile. I'm definitely aiming to eat a little bit more than usual. The pace is going to be a little bit slower. I'm sure I won't feel like that in the later stages, but making sure that I'm just keeping that steady flow of calories coming in so that in the second half of the race, I'm feeling strong to that finish line. It is going to be a night race, as I said, and often in these long races as well, for the night you find yourself on your own for a lot of the time. So what I've really been enjoying this year in both of my night races I've done so far, which have been Peña Grosso and Lavaredo, is having some music on. So I'll be wearing the Aeropex by Aftershokz, and then I can have that tuned into my mobile phone and listen to my Spotify playlist. So I'll have these on and off throughout the night if I wanted to listen to a bit of music or to pause and just listen to the trail, which is always amazing on these night races to have the full atmosphere and enjoy the process there. Then I'll actually be having poles for this race. So obviously with these big mountain races, when you've got lots of climbing, having a good set of poles is pretty essential. So this year I've been using the Microtrail Race in my preparations for UTMB. This is such a great pole, really enjoying it. I used to use the Microtrail Pro a few years back, and again, enjoy the trigger shock system that they have there. So you have a little glove that you pop on your hands, and then you just really simply just clip it in to the pole, and then you've got great connection without having to be too connected to the pole, and it's really easy, as you saw then, just to release. But this is a really lightweight pole, really strong though, and it's just good to get into that climbing rhythm with the hiking poles on those long steady climbs that you have in UTMB. Yeah, it's definitely a good piece of kit, worth having for these big mountain races where you've got lots of climbing. It might get sunny in the daytime, so if it is, I'll be using my sunglasses. I use the Alpinamente. Really like the sunglasses, great for running, trail running brand, and yeah, lightweight, good lenses, which is important because with my eyes, I just seem to get really sensitive to the sun these days. If it's really bright, especially on the trails when you're running around Mont Blanc and the whole top is a glacier, I find that these do the trick really well. And yeah, as I said, the trail running sunglasses, so not a lot of bounce at all, and fit really well and feel really good. So yeah, I'll be using those in the daytime. Jacket, obviously you've got to have a good jacket in the race for the conditions. It's part of the mandatory gear as well, so it has to be seam sealed. So basically it means that it's fully waterproof, but the seams inside are all sealed up so that there's no kind of leakage through and you don't get completely soaked. So I'll be using the Hoka One team jacket. Again, you want to go for something super lightweight that you can pack away, but obviously make sure that it is going to keep you warm, is going to keep you dry as can be, because it can really hammer it down these mountains. If the weather is terrible, I have got some backups, some bigger jackets, just to keep myself warm, because I know that I'm going to run a better race if I'm wearing something a bit heavier but a bit warmer, which is essential. So it's not all about being as lightweight as possible, it's about making sure you've got options for the different environments that you might have to face. So it's worth checking out the weather ahead of the race as well. Pack is obviously an essential item to carry all this, so I've been using the Camelback Ultra Pro in all my training. Really enjoying it. Super lightweight pack. You've got a main big pocket in the back, and then you've got kind of a stretchy pocket at the front, which is where I keep my jacket, and yeah, lots of the kind of stretchy pockets on the side for a bit of nutrition. The big plus point for me with the Camelbacks as well is that if they get wet, if they get soaked, they don't hold a lot of moisture. We find that a lot of packs sometimes can really hold a lot of moisture and feel really heavy. These ones seem to wick it away quite nicely, so enjoying the Camelbacks. And then you've got to have your kind of mandatory layers. So this is the kind of spares that you've got to have on you in case the weather gets really foul. So this will be packed away in my Camelback for the most part. So obviously you've got your stuff like your hat there, buff. You've got to have your gloves. So I usually, and you do have to have waterproof gloves as well for these races. So what I do is I have a warm pair of gloves, which is typically what I would wear. But then if it's really foul, I have like a really lightweight waterproof layer membrane that would go on top of those gloves to keep the hands dry, and then that's enough for the mandatory gear, guys. Then so you've got a pair of warm and waterproof gloves. It doesn't have to be the same glove, but yeah, hat there, as I said, buff, safety blanket, have a spare battery in there as well, and I've got the tape there. So that's just your mandatory tape. So if you break a pole, if you need to strap yourself up, if you've twisted your ankle, anything like that, these can help you get to that next aid station to get proper medical support, which is important. You have to be semi-self-sufficient out there. Waterproof pants. So again, I've got a nice lightweight pair here, which is what I'd be using. Seam sealed, so seam sealed but a good waterproof membrane. Doesn't have to weigh a lot, but it'll keep you warm. And then I've got another pair of pants very similar to this as well, which are a little bit lighter, as my second pair of layer pants there. So then I've got 2 layers for my bottoms, 2 layers for my top, and then you've got to have your 180 grams layer to keep you warm. So I've got this hoodie here, which is just your kind of nylon material, 180 grams on the dot, and this will keep you nice and warm if it gets really cold out there. Got the hood as well, which I find really helps me. So rather than just having a long sleeve, having a bit of a hood up top there, just another layer on your head, can really help just keep that extra bit of warmth in. So I think that is pretty much a lot of my mandatory gear. As I said, there might be some other bits and pieces I'll be picking up. Obviously I'll have socks, shorts and a t-shirt on, but that'll be all kind of team wear from Hoka. But yeah, other than that, and my bib of course, number 32, so hopefully I can place a lot higher than that in the race itself, and we'll see how it all goes. But it's Thursday now, the race is tomorrow. Hopefully you've seen some of the other videos I've done for you guys today. I wanted to try and immerse you in the UTMB experience as much as possible. If you haven't watched my training videos from the UTMB, go back and watch those because they're really cool. I really enjoyed making them. Some really great footage from the mountains here. Hopefully it inspires you guys to get out to UTMB if you've never been before. Do any of the races. It doesn't matter if you do an OCC, CCC, TDS or YCC. Any of those races, they're all spectacular and great, and they're all just as hard as each other. The distance might vary, but the pace is always going to be fast at the front. There's always competitive guys from across the world. So it's a great way to meet people. It's a great week. Hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I need to chill out now and try and relax. And yeah, pack this all back in my bag. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thumbs up if you like the videos. Leave some comments below if you've got any tips for mandatory gear for UTMB, anything that you like to carry along with you. Thanks for watching and happy running. Sorry if that was a bit rushed, guys. It is the day before race day now, and yeah, I'm just trying to get everything sorted out so I can get my feet up, just completely relax, shut my brain down. So sorry if that was like a million miles an hour and English isn't your first language. I don't speak English incredibly well, even though it is my first language. So I hope that you did hear all that and enjoyed it, and take